Alright guys, welcome to my channel. I finally decided to upload my first video and I'm so excited. So for today I decided to film my sister's makeup for prom. She wanted something very natural, very soft glam, so that's what I gave her. So let's get into the tutorial. So first we're starting off with the base. I'm going to be going in with 3 different products. I think this is the most important step. And this is what's going to make your foundation look really good. So choose a good moisturizer, and then on top of that I go in with the MAC strobe cream and I put that where I really want her to glow. So kind of like on her cheeks, her nose, and then after that I'm going to be using the Smashbox primer water. I really like this product. I've been using it for years and I really recommend it. Alright, now on the eyelids I'm going to be using the Fenty Pro Filter Eye Primer, just all over the lids. Alright, so next I'm going to be using the Makeup by Mario Master Eye Prep and Set in the shade Medium. It's basically just a base. Because I'm going to be using such light colors, I really want to make sure that I have a nice neutral base. The only thing I found with this product is that it was a little bit thick and kind of hard to blend out, but I found that once I used a brush, it blended out very nicely, and I really love this product to lay down before I go in with eyeshadows, and I definitely recommend it. Alright, I'm going in with another Makeup by Mario product. This is the Master Mattes palette in the shade Matte 2. I'm putting this all over the lid, in no place particularly, but I am going to be concentrating it a little bit into the crease just to start adding that dimension. What I love about this look is that you don't have to be a pro. It's a very easy look. Alright, now you're just going to do the same thing to the other eye. Just do it all over the lid and concentrate just a little bit into the crease to start adding that dimension, but you do not have to be perfect with this. Alright, so now going in with the same palette, you're going to go in with the shade Matte 4, and you're going to be putting that all over the crease, mainly concentrating it on the outer corners, but also making sure to bring it in all the way in towards your nose. I find that this gives you such a pretty gradient effect at the end, and especially if you love to nose contour, this is going to look really pretty. It's going to blend right into your nose contour. I think this is essential when doing a soft glam, bringing it all the way towards your nose. But notice that I am trying to focus more of the color on the outer corner. And I like to layer my colors very lightly, so I grab a little bit of powder at a time, just because if you pack so much color at once, it's going to make the colors look very choppy. And this is how you get that beautiful soft gradient effect, so little by little. So with the same palette in the shade Matte 8, I'm going to be taking this color and putting it in the same place I put the previous color. The main focus here is to build the colors up on top of each other. And just using little by little is what's going to give you that nice soft radiant look. Again, don't go in with a packed on brush because that's going to make it look very choppy. So doing it little by little is what's going to make it blend so nicely. Okay, so with the same color Matte 8, you're just going to keep building that onto the crease. Again, bringing it into the inner corner and just blending. And then just keep building it until you get the desired darkness that you want. For her, she really wanted something very natural, so I built it up a little bit, but it wasn't anything very dark and crazy. Alright, so now going in with the Eternal Light from the Celestial Storm palette by Dominique Cosmetics. I'm going to be putting this all over her lid. Originally, she didn't want any shimmer or any glitter on her lid or just anything dramatic. So I convinced her that it would look better in pictures and that it was prom, so she had to be a little bit more glam. So I decided to use a brush just to sheer it out just a little bit, but if you want more of a packed on look, you you can always use your finger, and that's going to give you a more intense, dramatic look. Alright, so now going into the other eye, I'm going to be doing the same exact thing. You'll notice that I'm doing kind of a cut crease with the shimmer. I think that this is a little bit more natural than going in with a concealer first. So kind of doing this saves you time, and then it just looks more natural. And then here I'm fighting her because I want to put eyeliner. She doesn't want it, but she still let me in the end. But it still looks really natural. It'll look fine. Okay, going back in with the Master Mattes palette in the shade Matte 10, I'm gonna be using this eyeshadow to build that wing. As opposed to using a gel liner or a liquid eyeliner, I think this gives you more of the soft glam look that we were going for anyways. If you want to use a gel liner or a black liner, go ahead, but I love how the brown liner looks, especially if you have brown eyes. This looks so pretty. And then I also love how it accentuates your lashes, so at the end it's gonna make your lashes look just like a little bit longer and flicked out. So that's why I love doing this, and I love using the color brown because I mean it really looks pretty on girls like with hazel eyes or brown eyes. Okay, so now I'm just blending that eyeliner in a little bit. If you can notice, the left eye, the liner is a little bit more dramatic, so I'm gonna be fixing that. And that's what I love about using eyeshadow as an eyeliner, that it's so easily fixed. I remember doing my gel liner and just crying because I would just mess it up and it just ruined my whole eyeshadow. But with an eyeshadow liner, it's very easy to fix, and all I did is just blend out the ends and then it kind of fixes itself. Alright, so with the clean blending brush, I forgot to mention, make sure it's clean. Keep blending, keep working on it. It'll blend out, and I promise it'll look good at the end. So don't freak out if you do make one side longer than the other. It'll blend out nice. Okay, now for my favorite parts, the face. I'm going to be going in with the L'Oreal PROM Matte Infallible Foundation. This is in the shades 107. I noticed that this was a little too dark for her and it was kind of starting to oxidize. So I went in with the shade 106 and that was her perfect shade. So mix if you have to. Sometimes the shade ranges are just kind of bad, so I always have to mix foundations, and I find that that's how I find my perfect shade. So just blending out the foundation with a beauty blender. I really love using a beauty blender because it picks up all the excess product, and I really wanted her to look herself and youthful and like it was her own skin. So in here I'm just trying to clean up the sparkles. Pro tip, make sure you clean up the sparkles before you go in with foundation, because I was struggling, but in the end you couldn't see them. And then now I'm gonna set the foundation with the primer water again by Smashbox. I'm just pressing this into the skin. She was gonna have to be wearing a mask, so that's why I was making sure that her foundation was not gonna move, and this really helps. Okay, so going in with the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. This one has a peachy undertone, which I really like because it cancels out the circles under your eyes. And I use a very, very light layer because if you pack on the concealer, it's gonna make it look creasy and it might make it look a little bit cakey. So using light layers is key. It's kind of been a trend in this video. And then after this concealer and blending it out, I'm gonna go in with a highlighting concealer, and this is the Maybelline Fit Me concealer in the second shade. And blending that out. This is just gonna add a little bit more dimension to her face, brighten under her eyes. So I use two different concealers, one for correcting and one for highlighting. Okay, so now I'm gonna be highlighting for her forehead and her chin. I don't do too much product I still want it to look like her skin. I still want her to look youthful. So I just do a very, very little bit of highlighting. And then to set everything, I just use a little tiny bit of translucent powder. I don't like to bake. I think it can cause really bad flashback. And so I just use a light layer, put that under her eyes, her forehead, her chin, her smile lines, anywhere where I just don't want it to crease. Okay, and then I'm going in with the Fenty Beauty bronzer. I decided not to cream contour on my sister just because, like I've said a million times, I just want her to look youthful and not look too cakey. So I'm just putting that on the hollows of her cheeks and on her forehead, and then I'm gonna be kind of carving out her jawline just a little bit. Nothing too crazy. Okay, so before I go in with the blush, I like to use a shimmer. This kind of gives her like a glow from within look. And then I put the blush over it. I bring it up towards the temples, and that kind of gives her like a snatched look. And then I like to put some on the nose because I think that looks really cute and it's trendy. Okay, and then I'm gonna be carving out her cheekbones just to kind of give her like a more chiseled look and just kind of clean it up a little bit. And then with the same eyeshadows that I used for her crease, I'm gonna be putting those under her eye and then making sure that they're blended in well with the top eyeshadows. Okay, so with the same fluffy eyeshadow brush that I used on top, I'm just gonna be blending out the eyeshadows on the bottom and diffusing them out and making them look pretty. And then just doing her eyebrows. She has really pretty eyebrows, so I didn't really need to do too much. Again, I don't do too dramatic of a look on the eyebrows. So just following her natural shape and filling them in as naturally as I could. And then cleaning up around her eyebrows, just using the Maybelline Fit Me powder in the lightest color and just cleaning up. I don't use the concealer method because sometimes it can look a little bit too heavy. And then highlighting the inner corners and then her brow bone. And I'm just using the same highlighter that I'm going to be using on her face. And then here I'm highlighting. I used the Becca Cosmetics highlighter. I'm really sad that she's going out of business because I think she has the best highlighters. And then just to finish off her eye look, I'm gonna go into her lower lashes with telescopic mascara in Carbon Black. And look how pretty she looks. Okay, and just to finish off the look, I'm going in with the Smashbox primer water again. I'm gonna be tapping that into her skin. Because she is gonna be wearing a mask, I just wanna make sure that it is able to stay on all night. So I'm just pressing that in. And then off camera, we did her lips. She just wanted to do a nude lip liner and then her favorite lip gloss by Buxom. Alright, so that is the end of this video. I love how this look came out. My sister looked so beautiful that day, and I think this look is perfect for a date night or any special occasion. But I'm glad I got to film my first YouTube video with my sister. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe. And thank you so much for making it through this video with me.